Well, hello, good evening. I am D. Leonard Hughes. I'm president and CEO of D. Leonard Hughes Personal Development Institute. I'm so excited about today. It's going to be a exciting time. Thank you that you're there. I see my mother's there, the Lois McRae. Remember, I can't see everybody, but I'm glad you're there. We're going to unpack some wonderful stuff today. Remember, this is not a religious or church platform. This is a Christ awareness personal development platform. And it's so glad to have you. And I know you've had a wonderful, great week. Hey, that is Linda. She's on too. We're going to get right into this and unpack some stuff. I'm talking about master of your fate and captain of your soul. Overall, I'm dealing with excuse me, self-mastery, learning how so many times we want to master other people and master this, and we miss the whole, and many times we want to change other folks. And you have to realize that there must be a self-mastery. I did something, I kind of always go back and do a little thing on my morning wake ups. I think I did one on Helen. I can't remember her last name. But let me go back, because I want to show you that you have to do everything you can to develop your I'm trying to see, somebody was texting me, develop your hold on, let me find this. Her name was Helen Keller. Helen Keller, in 1903 chronicles the early years of Helen Keller, a young woman who became both deaf and blind at a young age. Again, talking about self-mastery, moving towards disabilities, whether it's natural disability, mental disability. But this woman here, I was so impressed that I had to share it in my morning mental wake up. The story is an inspirational account of the world of a blind and deaf girl and how she triumphed over her disabilities, going to school and college, facing exams, and learning to enjoy the simple things in life. It's not until some things in life are taken away from you that you learn to enjoy the simple things in life. I don't have to read that part about her family. When Helen was 19 months old, she was afflicted by an unknown illness, possibly scarlet fever or meningitis, which left her deaf and blind. Wherever you are, you have to, whatever you're dealing with, you have to continue. She kept working on personal development. This is why I started this company of personal development, changing lives and changing minds. Helen had, by the age of 7, she had developed nearly 60 hands, 7 years old. She had developed 60 hand gestures to communicate with her parents and ask for things. 7 years old. She developed herself. She didn't just sit back, well, I'm blind, well, mom, I'm deaf, poor me, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. Whether it was meningitis, whatever it was, she immediately, throughout her life, went on a journey of personal development. And I tell folks all the time, the missing ingredient in your life and to improve your life is personal development. I told somebody today, stop being so churchy and religious. That doesn't help you. That doesn't bring about personal development, trying to be like sister so-and-so or brother so-and-so. I don't do that. Develop the you that God made. I even said something, because I believe that you should be an original, authentic. When he made you, I say this, and I don't want anybody to think differently, but Jesus developed, again, the Christ within him. I'm going to teach on how many times he spoke from the first person, the second person, the third person. And I've learned, hey, Jalen, I've learned to do the same thing. A lot of things he said was Jesus. A lot of things he said was the Christ. You have to understand that when he said, Father, why has that forsaken me? That wasn't the Christ. That was the human part. The scriptures say that he emptied himself. So we've heard people say, hear me out, oh, I just want to be like Jesus. Well, how was he? He had his own personality. It took him 17 years to develop the Christ. They call it the lost years, but I often say the missing years. You want to be the you that God have created you to be, because there's nobody else like you. There's nobody else have your DNA. And we've missed it because we wanted to be like this one in church, when we thought, okay, you want to be like the Christ. You want to develop the Christ within you. Okay, Jesus Christ live within you, but he wants you to have your own personality. You see what I'm saying? There's things that the Christ, the fruit of the Spirit, yes, but he wants you to develop your own personality, your own likes, your own dislike. Hey, your own likes. That's it. I'm getting comments when I pause. Yes, I lost myself. I'm not going to say who it is. Well, you probably can see it, but I won't see it. This person said, I lost myself because of my last relationship. Now I have to redevelop my. That's a strong point. Thank you for that. And over it again and find my, because you, let me say this. Let me slow down. You have to focus on you. Stop being religious. Stop being churchified. I was telling a pastor this. Let me tell you something. We have shifted into the kingdom. People still trying to have church, and God said, I've gone from that. I'm into the kingdom. I'm building my kingdom, because he only mentioned the church 2 or 3 times. He mentioned the kingdom many times. So his emphasis was the kingdom. Learn to be you. You don't want to be like me. I want to be like the Christ. I want to develop the divine nature, but I'm still me. You may like red, I like blue, you like green, this person like yellow, you might like Coca-Cola, I may like Pepsi, but be you. And you've got to learn how to be free. Even your family. Let me say this here. Don't even live for your family. Don't even live for your mom and daddy. They were wonderful. They did that part. But even at Jesus, the point of his life, that he had to walk in his destiny. Are you saying cut him loose? I'm not saying that. But you have to develop yourself. Prayer's not going to do it. Those is from the religious community. That's not going to do it. You have to do it yourself. Take the tools. And when you start, it's a battle. Because that old man, I'm going to share something with you. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, because I'm going to do that in my morning wake up on tomorrow. But Helen Keller, she went on to be a famous published author. She was the first deaf and blind person to earn a Bachelor of Arts degree. Her name was Helen Keller. Truly showing that disability, even blindness, is no match for the spirit of determination. And that's a point I want you to write down. You have to have the spirit of determination and believe that giving up is not an option. She arose above what was realistic. Now, it was a realistic thing that she was blind. She was deaf at 7 years old. Meningitis, scarlet fever, it wasn't sure. But you may have disabilities, and you can't say, well, I ain't got a disability, whatever it may be. But you have to rise above that. You can't stay on that level. Whatever you've done, whatever you've been through, whatever your mind, and a lot of things you ain't been through, a lot of things your mind have taken you through. I'm telling you from a Christian psychologist, your mind will run you crazy if you don't know how to control or become the master of your fate and the captain of your soul. Let's finish this, and we're going to unpack our teaching. For someone who lived without the ability to see, Helen Keller knew a thing or two about vision. She said, it's a terrible thing to see and have no vision. She had vision, even though her natural eyes were gone. And she couldn't hear, she couldn't see. Hey, brother, let me tell her. But she had vision. We can see, we can hear, but you have no vision. I got to tell you as a coach, you have no vision. You're too religious. You're too churchified. You're too busy wanting to be like this one in church and be like this preacher. Be you. Be original. If anything you get tonight, I want you to be authentic and be original. Don't try to be like Elijah. Don't try to be like Paul. Don't try to be like Peter. They all had their own personality. Peter had a quick temper. Elijah dealt with depression. So you want to be like you. This is where I am in life. And the only way you can find you, and as the other person said, I won't mention their name because that's their personal business, but you have to you don't know you. You know religion, but you don't even know you. And if you don't know you, those of you that's single, how can you have a mate when you don't even know you? I know me. You really don't. Because the only way you can know you, you've got to go within. Two things are happening in your life 24/7. Either you are conforming or you're transforming. When you see people in among a whole bunch of crowds and just constantly hanging, there's some conformity being involved. They're not being original. There's circles that you have to. I make it my business, Sister Linda. I make it my business to be different. I don't conform to religion or conform to this and conform to that. No, because I understand awareness, and you have to. So let's finish this. She said again, it's a terrible thing to see and have no vision. You said many of you don't have a vision because religion have taken it away from you. If you want to be successful, well, you don't be too successful. You know, them successful people lose God. You can't lose God because you're one with Him. And then you've been through enough hell and trouble and learn and just hard times that you ain't gonna lose it because you realize it's not you, but it's the God within. It's not you that doeth the work, but it's the Father within you. This is wonderful. It's not you. Okay. Christopher Reeve said a hero is an ordinary individual who finds the strength to persevere, and endure in spite of overwhelming obstacles. You remember Christopher Reeves? I think he was in the paralyzed. Thomas Edison. Let me tell you something. These great icons and history makers and innovators, they had issues, and you're sitting waiting until you get perfect. Until everything is perfect, or the perfect time. There is no perfect time. Only time is now. You say, well, I'm just waiting for the perfect time. Don't believe that. There's no perfect time. You create the time and the things that you want. Thomas Edison was totally deaf in one ear and hard of hearing in the other ear, but thought of his deafness as a blessing. In many ways, it kept conversation short that he wouldn't have to be alone. He made the best of it. He worked hard, 16 hours a day. It was all these people, and I love biography. That's why I always talk about biographies or something, because I love dealing with people that have, experienced biography. All right. Self-control. This world is out of control. Do what you want to do. No morals, none of that. Thank you, Linda. Religion will mess you up, and it have met. I talk to a lot of people and a lot of clients in my coaching business. First thing I have to do is get them from all of that religion. I call it religiously. Have to get them out of that mindset and bring them down to the reality of who you are, the Christ within you, and the potential. Because when He made Thomas Edison reached his highest expression of God on planet Earth. Oprah Winfrey, she reached that level. She didn't reach that level by conforming. She reached that level by transforming. You look at basketball, Curry. He reached his highest level. He's breaking records. I think he's the number one three-point shooter in the NBA because he's original. And that's one of the points that I'm making. In order for you to master your faith, and I may have to do part 2, in order for you to master your faith, you got to be original and be glad that you are. I am the master of my. This came. I'm going to show you where this. It was a poem, Invictus poem, and this was the poem that Nelson Mandela used and said constantly over and over and over and over for 27 years when he was in prison. It's whatever story you're telling yourself, or whatever story you have told yourself that have put you where you are, or that's stopping you from getting where you want to be because of the story that you keep telling. Nelson Mandela did not tell the story of being in prison. He didn't tell himself the story. He was there. It was a realistic situation, but he rose above that. Whatever, look at me. If you can't get over it mentally, you're defeated. Make sure whatever you're dealing with, That's why you got to be real with you. Because a lot of things you're dealing with is psychologically. There's no real problems. There's something, fears and worries and, stuff that you've cooked up in your head. Oh, I got a problem. And you talk to people and you find out they really don't have a problem. It's just they have sabotaged themselves. I don't want to get into that too quickly. I'm the master of my fate and the captain of my soul means that it is me who determines what my future will bring. By the way, I see life and prepare myself to face its reality, it puts you in the driving seat of your life. You got to get out the back seat. You in the back seat, you got to go wherever the person is driving is going, whether you want to go or not. You got to get out the back seat and get the steering wheel. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to launch out. Don't be afraid to live your dream. You say, well, I don't have the money. Dreams don't start with money. Dreams start with dreams and believing in your dream. And as you go about, the money comes. Well, I need people to help me. Keep going. And through your vibration, have no fear. Through your vibration, you draw. Let me tell you something. This is why I teach the power. I did a few weeks ago. Creation is already done. Now you have to learn how to manifest. When you get into the move, in the flow of manifesting, you're not depending on people. There is no force outside of you. God is in you. Jesus Christ, Corinthians 13:6, I think it was, first or second, says Jesus Christ is in you. It's still where? What's stopping you? Your awareness. You know your church doctrine, but you're not even aware who you are. You know your statement of faith or whoever you are, but you don't even know who you are. Because in church, you were not taught to be you. Just be like Jesus. And I wonder, well, how was he? He might have liked certain kind of fish that I might not like. But he developed the Christ. And this is why I sent out my mental wake-ups. We're up to about 172 now. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I mean, I enjoy it. Started with about 10, we're up to about 172 as of today. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow because people share after this broadcast. People say, send it to me. I love doing it, but I don't want to do the group. I don't like group texting because it goes off all day long. Thank you, Lynn. The church have messed up a lot of people. You, the master of your fate. You see what I got back there? Let me move so you can see. See the captain? You're the captain of your soul. If you want health, go that direction. You want peace? If you want peace, you got to establish some things in your life. And you have to create peace. And you create peace by getting rid of some people. Eliminating grown people. Your problem is you're diving into grown folks' lives that really don't want help. They don't want no help. They don't want no help. And you think you can be this, I don't know, the angel or the savior and save them. And you go and you deal with them and they go right back to what they're doing. You wasted your time. You learn. I had somebody call me. Sometimes I think about taking my number out, but then, think somebody may really need something. And I don't know the person. And they called and they said, I need prayer. I said, ma'am, I don't do that right away. I don't just dive in, start praying. I said, what are you going through? You see why I use this method when people call. Don't just dive in. You don't know what's going on. You don't know whether it's real. You don't know whether it's psychological. Or you don't know it's something you done got themselves into. So I told her, I said, you don't need prayer. I don't do that right off. What's going on? She said, me and my 2 sons are in an abandoned house. I said, how did you get there? There had to be a decision or no decision that got you there. Prayer is not going to get you out of there. You've got to decide how you got there and come up with a plan to get out of there and change your thinking. And it may be a little hard, but I've learned I've learned to be a straight shooter with people because people play games. People play church people, period. They play games. So I told her, I said, you had 2 kids, and I said, ma'am, first of all, you need help. You need counseling. You need therapy. You don't need prayer. You don't need no oil. You can put oil on you, prayer on you. If this doesn't change, if that mindset don't change, you're right back in another house. But the real thing was, before I got off the phone, well, you know what I'm saying? I don't have any gas and we don't have no food. I don't do that. You have a church? Yeah, go to your pastor. There's social services for that. Why? Because people play games. If people in a church and that church won't help them, something's wrong. Either they're not in good standing or they're not. I don't know. I don't know. But what I'm saying, don't just dive in. Listen to folks. And if you listen to them, as a coach, I'm telling you, as you listen to them, you can tell within 5 or 10 minutes where they are. And says Linda, yeah, you know, folks ain't ready. People are not ready. They don't want change. People don't want change. They don't want change. And listen, I did my other morning wake up. Everything changed but change. The word change, the only thing don't change. Life change. Unexpected things happen. Yeah, you find out the root of the problem, and in the root of the problem, it ain't the devil. It's because of their understanding, their mindset, and their limited information to make proper decisions. You can't make better decisions with the same critical mindset, or we call it critical thinking, that you're living in. I haven't even got into, we got a theme about 20 more minutes, 25 more minutes. Often we think outside events controls our outcome. But the quote tells us that quite the opposite. You're the master of your fate. You're the captain. Because see, you can't control what happens out there. On your job, your neighbor, your sister, your brother. You can't control that. But what you can control is your response and your reactions. Can I say it again? Your response and your reaction. Proverbs 25:20 said, like a city whose walls are broken through is a person who lacks self-control. I started saying a few minutes ago that the world's out of control, the church is out of control, people are out of control. The congressman out of control. Even the president, they said he was out of control. People out of control. Preachers out of control. And I can speak on this from coming out of bondages of addiction. Listen, Linda, I couldn't go to nobody in the church. They couldn't give me something that they didn't have or they didn't understand. My help came through personal development, books, information. A few years ago, I dived into it, got away from that, listened to religious people. See what I'm saying? So it didn't come. They don't understand. It didn't come from them. And they was the ones that got me into it. I'll be real with you. I'll be very real with you. That's good. You know, people like, well, don't say this and don't say. Let me tell you, so you're dealing with people that understand more than what we think to understand. They act like they don't, but they really do. So they did that. When it comes to self-control, a little cute thing. I mean, you're probably like this, Sister Linda, from being an educator. The marshmallow test, the psychologist Walter Mischel conducted a series of well-known experiments during the 1960s and the 70s that investigated the importance of a delayed gratification. A delayed gratification. He did 7 experiments. Children were offered a choice. they could choose to eat one treat right away, usually a cookie or a marshmallow, or they could wait a brief period of time in order to get two treats. It's just simple, but it's cute. It was an experiment that was done. At this point, the researcher would leave the child alone in a room, talking about self-control and mastery, with a single treat. Not surprisingly, many of the kids choose to eat the single treat the moment the experimenters left the room. However, some of the kids were able to wait for the second treat. So the one group of the kids had no self-control. They couldn't wait to get two treats. They say, I'm going to take this one. Don't worry about it. You got to master that. You got to master your appetite. I often say that because I was 310 pounds. Had to master my appetite. Obesity, high blood, that means you don't need prayer for that. People, I need prayer for high blood. No, you don't. You need to change the diet. Come on. Do you see where we are? I need prayer for my sugar, my sugar. That's yours. So, see, you have to see things it may be a fact, but not a reality. When Jesus ministered to people, he didn't see illness, he saw wellness. Because of the consciousness and the level of faith and the level of awareness that he was on, was the same thing he's trying to get us on, because the works that I do shall you do. When he saw people, he did not see their disability or the woman with the issue of blood. Only thing he knew, that healing was available. And when we deal with people, that's it. Then the words have power. When we deal with people, when I'm out and he uses me in miracles and healing, inwardly, I don't see a wheelchair person, a crutch person, but I see a person that's whole. That's reality of faith, that by his stripes you're what? See, it's your perception. When people say, oh, I want you to pray for my sugar. First of all, I don't pray for sugar diabetes, because that's a waste of God's time, your time, my time, everybody's time. Just change the diet. It's simple. Obesity, no self-control. No self-control. You're eating and killing yourself. You're eating, and because of the food, I often say this, I say it all the time, we're dealing with so much cancer. We're not supposed to eat to get full. And, oh, I'm so full. I gotta go lay down. Woo, I'm just full. You're killing yourself. We're supposed to eat for nutrients. That's it. And it's okay to, eat a little something, that you enjoy. That's good. Nothing wrong with that. Are you listening to me? But at the end, you've got to stay, you have to have a manageable diet. This is all a part of Master of the Family. I'm going to do part 2 of you becoming the captain of your soul. Cut the sugar out. Thank you. Yeah. You have to cut the sugar out, or it will kill we say cut the sugar out, it will kill the cancer. Because, yes, cancer, what's the word? You may have to tell me, Linda. Sugar causes, that's the first thing the urologists, oncologists told me. And it was a battle, but I wanted to live. I said, what to eat, what not to eat. No red meat. No sugar. No sugar. How about brown sugar? Cut your sugar out. Cut your sugar out. And because I wanted to live and I wanted to walk in divine healing, I did it. And those 310 pounds, I'm down now to about 230 some pounds. I did it because I'm the master of my faith and the captain of my soul. Acknowledge you have that power in you. Got a few more minutes. Stay with me. The first step is to understand we have the power to be the masters of our destiny, despite maybe the whole past tells you of otherwise. Whatever your past tells you, don't worry about that. If you think like you've always thought, you'll achieve what you've always got. You like that? I forgot I wrote that. I gotta find it, y'all. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. My eyes are okay. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? If you think like you've always thought, you'll achieve what you've always got. I want you to unpack that for a few minutes. The first step to understand we have the power to be the masters of our destiny. You must make a change in your philosophy about life. I don't need to do point one, point two. Don't worry about that. What is your philosophy? What is the story you've told yourself? What is the story you believe about your life that you keep telling yourself? And what is your philosophy? What's your philosophy of life? Well, them rich people, they must be crooked. Oh, and this. Oh, and that. Oh, and ain't nobody in my family ever came up. That's the story you tell yourself. And that's your philosophy. It should be, I've come that you may have life and have it more abundant. I don't know. Linda, I'm a seer. I don't do the prophetic thing online most of the time, but I see something every now and then. The seer comes. I see something overseas. I see some trips, and I see a passport of something. I think I might have told you that a couple of years ago of connecting. There's divine connection. I did. Excuse me. I might have mentioned that to you, but I prophetically like to see as a seer to certain people that's ready. Does that make sense? I'll come back to that. Research, remember I was talking about the mushroom test? Researchers found that children who were able to delay gratification in order to receive a greater reward were also more likely to have better academic performance than the kids who gave in to temptation immediately. First group, no self-control. No self-control. Second group, they waited. Instead of having one treat, they got two treats. What's in your life that's out of control? You say, oh, man, my relationship is out of control. Really? I'm going to come in. I'm going to cover some things. How is your relationship out of control when you're supposed to be the master of your fate and the captain of your soul? How can you let somebody else come into your life and disrupt and uproot your life in the name of loneliness? Talk to me. You've got to be the master of your emotion. But sometimes in coaching, there's people that haven't had anybody in their life for a long time. They're tired, lonely. You see what I'm saying? But I got another client I'm coaching, and I said, you have to be careful. It's not like it used to be out here in relationships. So many games, not just used to be time. Just the men had games. Now women got games. But you got to control that. It's not a religious platform, so I can say things. Many of you, because I'm a realist and be real, have out of control sexual desires, passions that you're fighting with, pornography. Come on. When you open a door to pornography, you open a whole world that you will regret. You will. Why y'all got quiet on me? I need some comments now. Because your sex life can be out of control. Because, before you had a high sex nature and you haven't got control of it. You're single and haven't got control of it. You got to get control of that thing. You got to get control of loneliness, because if not, you're going to keep finding yourself in these relationships where you're losing. Can I say it again? Thank you, Jalen. You're going to find yourself in relationships where you come up on the short end of the stick, and you're losing because you're not applying principles. You're not in control of your life. You're letting people control you. You're letting your family. Your family can't control you because they don't know your destiny. I said before, our parents are great, but they don't know our purpose. Your parent maybe wanted you to be a doctor. Your parent maybe wanted you to be a teacher, but your fate was something else. You went a different route. That's okay. You're doing something in your family that nobody else has ever done. Be proud of it and stick to it and show them this is what can be done. Many of you have been the black sheep of the family and you don't even know that the God within you was preparing you and protecting you from conforming. Because he told you, thank you, Linda, don't be a puppet. Don't be a puppet on the string. Everybody, I often say, don't set yourself on fire to warm somebody else up. Let's say it again. Don't set yourself on fire to warm other folks up. There's a Linda. And I see others. I don't usually do this. But y'all, I see a move. The seer is working. She says, I have to master my long. Yeah, but see, let me say this, and I'm gonna come back to you. I'm gonna come back to you. These low periods, those are the single. The Bible says when you're married, you care for the things of the Lord. When you're single, you care for the things of the Lord. When you're married, you care for the things of your mate. Those that are single, you shouldn't be on a thing. And you may, that the bus may try to stop on Lonely Street, but you don't get off. Can I tell you something? I'm going to do it in my morning wake up. This is how I deal with my mind. Sister Linda and your others that's on. I've been knowing Linda a long time. That's what I'm thinking. Just keep calling it. Let me tell you something. My old mind, the Bible said, put off the old mind, old conversation. I call that mind Bob. My new mind is Christ. I don't call it Daryl because that's not me. I don't call it D.L. Hughes, but my old mind. It's a cute little exercise I do, and it works. When Bob comes with fear, I say, Bob, get on out of here. They got time for you. Go. When my mind, Bob, comes with discouragement or all of those things, I say, Bob, go. I'm not you and you're not me. You go. And it works. And the more I've been doing it, because your mind is not you. Your thoughts are not you. It's not you. So you don't engage in them, or you don't, tell Bob, get to stepping. When them thoughts of fear, find a name for your old mind. The Bible said, again, put away the old nature, old conversation. Find a name for it. And when Bob starts talking, Bob, hush. That's not, it may be a fact, Bob, but it's not a reality. Maybe a fact of what the doctor said, Bob, but the reality is by his stripes I'm healed. And it works. I've been doing it more and more and more and more. Give that old mind. Remember, you are not your thoughts. You're like, excuse me, you're not your thoughts and you're not your mind. You got to keep that before you, because when thoughts come, you automatically, that's not you. The real you is divine nature of Christ. And you have to constantly say, I have the mind of Christ. Thank you, Linda. I like that too. I want to tell you again. I'm giving you what to do, how to get the victory in your mind. Name that old mind. Give it a name. Don't give it your name, because it's not you. You're being transformed. You're getting away from Bob. It's like getting away on a journey. I got to get away from Bob. Now, I'm going to tell you something. You will never get completely away from Bob, because the old thoughts are going to come. But Bob is not in control. The first person, the Christ, the Daryl, you're in control. This is good. People said, I like that. I like that. A few more minutes. Don't go nowhere. Because you got to master your life. You need to first and foremost master yourself. Okay. The basic principle is to create, you have to become the cause behind the results you get. All the results you're getting in your life, you're the cause. There's a law of cause and effect. Things just don't happen. I know what I was saying. While you're lonely, you work on, you're by yourself. I'm so bored. Work on your personal development. Because the more, come on, I feel this. The more you work on you, the better person you'll draw. Because we vibrate. We attract no one but us. Every seed. You keep tracking no good men. I ain't gonna say it. But something within you, you have to be real. Something within you keeps drawing those type of individuals into your life. And you're mad at them. You're trying to figure out why they keep coming in your life. And you don't even realize it ain't them. You're drawing them. You're manifesting them because you're on a certain level emotionally and you haven't expanded, or you're so intense on your being lonely. You're so intense of being single that you're missing the moment. You're missing the moment to work on you. Man, I don't know who she was. That was a young lady on YouTube making 6 figures a month. She was saying that she was running from relationship and this and that. And she said, I stopped and got on personal development. 6 figures a month, not a year, but a month. An African-American young lady. I wish I would have kept the clip. I thought it was going to be there. Went back to YouTube. It was gone. I didn't get her name or anything, but I got the clip. While you're by yourself, look at me. You do you. What I said again, you do you and do you strong. If he come, he comes. If he don't, he don't. You got to hug that teddy bear. That teddy bear ain't gonna argue with you. That teddy bear ain't gonna abuse you. That teddy bear gonna stay. I'm just teasing in a way. Teddy bear is gonna stay right where it is. It's not going. It's not going. This is why God has gave me this passion for this company, for personal development. Excuse me, my towel dropped. This is. Now, let me say this. I got 10 minutes. Hold on, 15 minutes. Stay with me. First thing you've got to master is your tongue. Yeah. Talk. Got to master your tongue. That's how you master you. You master your tongue. Come on. A lot of things Nelson Mandela could have said. Mandela suffered 27 years in prison before becoming South Africa's president. What did it? His mindset and his self-determination. Every time I say that, Sister Linda just comes up strong. Self-determination. I don't care where you are financially. I don't care where you are in your love life, in your career. You be self-determined. You understand what I'm saying? You be self-determined to be, to do, and mostly religious folks and church folks not going to get with you because they want you to stay where I had preachers that want me to stay where I am. Don't give the people too much. I'm not going to do that because every seed reproduces. You keep putting it out there. We have Asians, people that's on. Canadian people that I send my morning wake up. Business, entrepreneurs that's on the road to professional. First, you got to have personal development. From personal development, you go to professional development. You got to develop you. Just about finished. I mentioned that Thy Nugent says self-mastery has to start with self-honesty. Self-mastery start with self. He who is slow to anger is better than the mighty. He who rules his spirit than he who takes a city. You got to rule your spirit. You got to do that. We're doing wonderful things. We are doing wonderful things. We're doing some things in different parts of the world with networking. People say, we want you to come and we want you to lecture on personal development because we need it. We need it. And we're planning on doing it. I'm manifesting. I'm attracting what I need. You manifest the supplies that, we had an Airbnb business with several properties. Every time somebody moves out and there's a couple days in between, my wife and I, we manifest. We start speaking. We start visualizing. We don't have an inquiry. We have bookings. We don't want inquiries. And we manifest it. And it happens. Today we had somebody just check out a couple of days ago. Boom, booking. This stuff works. You learn to manifest it. You visualize it. You speak it. Instead, I don't care what it looks like. Because many times in life, you'll find yourself in a place that you've never been before. But you keep stepping forward. You keep reaching forward. I want to say this. I know what I usually do, but I feel this tonight. Yaya, I said I see some moving. I see some transitioning taking place for you. The next few months are going to be months of opportunities. So get ready. You hear me, Yaya? Get ready. Get ready. Do all the personal development. Be real with yourself, honest with yourself. Don't sabotage yourself, because within the 3-month period, opportunity, you got to begin to move in a place of, I tell people, you can't get ideas if you're not around people that's doing ideas. They don't just pop up. So that's what I see for you. I don't know why I keep seeing this moving thing, Yaya. I see boxes. I see you packing. I don't even know how long you've been where you are, but there's another door. I hit a button. I ain't gonna touch nothing, y'all. I am not. I think I'm still on. Yeah, I'm not gonna touch nothing. That's what I see. Linda, I said again, you gotta move in that overseas thing. You will be appreciated, and you'll be appreciated. You'll be appreciated, accommodated, financially accommodated overseas. I mentioned it's coming. I think I mentioned the Caribbean islands. I don't know which one. I can't remember, but that still comes. It still comes before me. Still, and you have a greater discerning eye about people that's around you than you, Linda. You have a greater discerning eye in your business transactions. I think I told you before, you have to guard your heart, because you got a good heart and you want to help everybody. But there's a whole new level of networking that the universe is. Mexico. Thank you. Yes, have I? Yes, Mexico. Okay. When you said it, I can remember, you can't keep all that in our heads, but when you said it, it resonated again in my spirit, because he's gonna use you in educational areas. He's gonna use you in educational areas. Serena, how are you? I usually don't do this. I haven't did this all year because I don't want people to be hooked on a word. I want them to be hooked on principles and mindset. Principles and what? Mindset. Serena, there's 2 people coming into your life that's going to help you go to the next level. There's 2 people. I don't know where they are. I don't know where they come from. I don't go beyond what I can see. But get ready. They're going to connect you. They're going to connect you here, connect you there, in order to get the things that you want to get. Okay. Is that Pastor Brown? I didn't see him. That's my friend from Michigan. I'm sorry. I can't, Doc, I'm on 5 platforms. So I can't see everybody. I just happened to scroll down. Mindset and principles. That's it. It's mindset and principle is all about personal development. The more you do that, the more you move it. Can I tell you something? I am seeing, my wife and I are seeing tremendous results of manifesting. When I learned how to manifest, and I teach about manifesting, you don't do a lot of begging and pleading and please God, will you pray for me? You don't do that. When you start manifesting, your confidence is in the God that's within you, and the awareness and the power and the authority and the kingdom authority that He's given you. You don't have to live defeated. Come on up. You don't have to live defeated. I don't care. Walk not by sight. I'm getting ready to go. Hold on. But walk by faith. And many times the faith walk is no tiptoe through the tulips, whatever it is. It's not like that. It's a fight. Fight the good fight of faith. Fight for your mindset that you don't slip into mental health. I told you before, Martin Luther King dealt with mental health. Mother Teresa, read it. They dealt with mental health. Martin Luther King couldn't go to nobody. Who could he go to? Because he couldn't really trust anybody, but he dealt with mental health. Come on, somebody. Naomi Judd, mental health. Sat on her couch for 2 or 3 years. Millionaire. Doesn't matter how much money you got or who you are. That's it to lend faith. He said, when I come, will I find what? Not denomination, not a title. Some folks get a new position and think they got a whole new world and don't even know. It's going to cost you. It's going to cost you. Find your position in Him, your purpose in Him. Believe Him for wealth. Believe Him for wealth. The scripture says wealth and riches are in your house, in my house, but in your house. There's wealth in your house. There's riches there. There's wealthy ideas. There's rich ideas. You understand what I'm saying? I've got an app idea that I can't mention it. Can't mention it, but it's a hot one. It's a hot one. I'm just putting all together and doing all the reading and finding out who can get the code and all that. Man, you got to get on the move to make money. Y'all too problematic. People call you, you dive into your problem. How you doing? Well, I don't know. And I said, oh God, time to go. I want you to do this. Usually I only do donations twice a month. But I feel something in the air that you can master your finances. That things begin to happen. I want those that will stand with me with a $77 donation or seed. I have to do donation. I have to say seed because everybody that's on, from different walks of life don't understand that. Okay. Go for the stars. Thank you, Linda. Go for it. Go for it. Why can't you? Well, my family. That's not you. You're an individual. You got promise. I'm a promise. I'm a possibility. I'm a promise. What a capital P. The old song we sang with kids. I can be anything God wants me to be. If you listen, I don't know the word. Da 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 da. I'm a possibility. I'm a big possibility bunch, but with a capital P. You're possible. All things are possible. All. Anytime Bob tells me what can't happen, Bob, you don't know what you're talking about. All things are possible. Bob said his company can't reach 190 countries, and Bob, watch me. So I tell my old man, watch me. You got to just stand while you ain't going nowhere anyway. So you might as well just stand around and watch. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Okay, I'm talking, and people are trying to figure out how to sow this 77. Let me get you can see me. Sow this $77. That's the QR code. Take that. You know how you do that. I guess you put your phone up to it and it takes you from there. or you can do the Zelle. But I want about 10 of you that these instructions, and I ain't finna promise you this and promise you that. I'm gonna promise you what the word says. How about that? Give and it shall be given. Good measures pressed down. The word says that. He'll cause men to give unto your bosom. And in giving, it causes a level of favor that you can put a demand on God. That's what I do in business. I put a demand on it. Every property we've got is occupied. With the one here will be occupied starting tomorrow. Somebody just left this week. But it all come through seeding. We sold our way. We gave our way. Can I say it again? We sold our way. We gave our way into the short-term leasing business. And it's working. It's working. Pastor Brown, if you're still there, I just speak. I thought about you and Lady Denise, and I said, Lord, I just cause increase in their ministry. Pastor Brown, there are programs. How can I say this? What God is doing for you all now, because it's already done. He's a done God. There are going to be programs that you're going to set up that's going to really take your ministry into the community. I want to say that God is taking you all into the community. All right, Serena, I keep seeing Serena. Can you text me? I mean, not text me, but what are you doing career-wise? Can you, whatever, do comment? And I'm going to watch this particular platform because I'm on different platforms. I'm going to leave that up. I won't leave it up long. If you're going to do it, I thank you. I appreciate it. But I'll leave it up for a few minutes. But Serena, I need you to let me know. Thank you. You know who you are. I don't want to call nobody's name, but you know who you are, because somebody may say, well, he didn't call my name. But thank you. Well, since you put it in, thank you, Sister Linda. And God may speak to somebody to give more. I don't know, but I appreciate it. I'm waiting on Serena. You got it. Let me see. Maybe it's so I'm on these platforms that I have to go back and forth. I only have two hands. I still on my laptop, and then God got the lights around me. But I love it. I look forward to this. Every week. And I appreciate all of you. I ain't gonna start calling nobody names because I don't want to forget nobody. But work on your person. All you got to do is work on personal development. You're gonna get there. You're gonna get there. Why? You're the master of your fate. And you're the captain of your soul. I may have to, I don't know. I got so much I be studying and researching, and I was going to say I may do part 2, but I don't know. But we're looking forward. I want everybody to have a happy, let me get this off. No, that's the matter. 1 second, let me get this off here. Have a wonderful, if you still want to sow, is at the bottom. Have a wonderful, what is it? 4th of July, Independence Day. Be careful. Amen. All those things. Keep working on your mindset. It's so easy. Listen to you. Listen, let me tell you this before I go, and I'm getting ready to go. Personal development is all you got to do. Everything else God has laid out. Why is it important to develop yourself? Look at the spies. Sister Linda, what about the spies? Their mindset kept them from entering in. 10 of them. They said 12. 10 came back. We can't do it. In our own eyes or our own perception, they're giants. We're grasshoppers. That was not true. But that's the story they told themselves before they even got back to Moses. And that's the story they believed. Now, if that's not important, why did they not enter in? Because of their mindset. There's nothing God could do. He's merciful, he's gracious, but because their mindset and their perception, now Joshua and Caleb, they believed it, man. They said, we can do it. It took Caleb for seeing it. It took him 40 years for it to come to pass, but he stood at 84 years old and said, give me my mountain. I want mine now. Why? Personal development. For 17 years, Jesus, when he left at 12 and he come back to 30, I think it was, what did he do those 17 missing years? Personal development. And when he hit Jerusalem, he turned those cities upside down. Why? Because he had developed that divine nature, the Christ within him. I certainly appreciate y'all very much. And I love you so much. And I'm getting ready to go. You're thinking when I go off, somebody just said, somebody just asked to put the QR code back up. Okay, I'll put it up, but it's hard to have it up. And I got to move around. But I thank all of you. Let me do it while I'm thinking about it right now. But I thank all of you. There it is. Okay, so this has been D. Leonard Hughes, the D. Leonard Hughes Personal Development Institute and Coaching Shows. And thank you so much. Thank you for those that's giving donations or those that are seating. I appreciate it so much. All right, until next time, remember, thank you for listening. All right, appreciate it.